One of the things that made NJIT so good this year was the Providence game, St. John's, Seton Hall, all in the 60s. So their defense has been good. And so now, what do you do to stop Villanova? I think you do what you've been doing.
Remember, we were tied when this score was in the 50s, but Villanova has been getting it done in the last two baskets.
They really have. Watch this shot right here. He fakes, he's going left. That's a tough pull-up with the shot clock winding down, but it hits nothing but net. And then here comes the next one. Chenault, great hands, pushing the break right now. Finds Hilliard, bang with the reverse. Gives Villanova the cushion.
If you're Jay Wright in this Villanova timeout, what are you telling your team?
Well, I think what you're telling them right now is, hey, let's be patient on offense. We are in a good situation, but let's wind the clock down. Let's get the same set with Archie Diacono coming up at the top. Get either Ochenu up top and keep Pinkston low where he's been most effective.
Villanova will have the ball, and for the first time, we'll see a full court pressure from NJIT now. Gets into Pinkston successfully. With a minute plus, NJIT's not going to foul here.
I don't think they need to. They can sit tight. They've been good in this situation. What they want is more possessions.
Under a minute to go. Villanova leading by 5. 13 to shoot for Arcidiacono. Chenault puts it back up top to Pinkston and now to Arcidiacono. 5 to shoot, important possession, right to the rack, dumps it down, and the flush successful by Oshefu. His first bucket of the game.
What a nice pass as well.
30 seconds, desperation time for Flores and company. Howard, stripped away by Chenault, timeout Nova.
Chenault's done a great job defensively all night. His hands have been in a lot of balls.
Arcidiacono, in the waning moments in this shot clock, good recognition on another no-look pass.
Absolutely, and Oshefu came over and knew how to finish it. But you're looking at, here comes that screen and roll, help comes, and bang.
Nova's getting ready for Big East play. This is the last non-conference matchup for the Wildcats, and they have a tough road ahead of them as they have St. John's and travel to USF coming up.
Well, I think anytime you're in this league, the Big East, it's a tough road for as soon as you start it. But what you got to do is finish this one and get your 9th win, and then hope like heck you get 10. Because in the Big East, there's not a lot of easy ones out there.
The type of game maybe not going the way Jay Wright drew it up in the locker room prior to it, but he has to like the competitiveness from his team down the stretch.
Absolutely. One of the things, if you're Jay Wright, I go back to what we talked about at halftime. You have to go back and find the positives. It's easy when you're coaching your own team to always pick out your flaws, but it's hard to say, hey, these are the good things we did, and you're going to need that positiveness as you go into the Big East Conference play.
This will stay with Villanova as it goes off of Kai Howard. 67-60 game, just a dip under 23 seconds left. 19 points off of turnovers. And a timeout here by the Wildcats. NJIT coming up. Well, they're getting ready for conference play in the Great West Conference. As you see Utah Valley smack down in the middle. They've won the conference the last 2 years. They've gone 20-2. The last 2 seasons there, but first St. Francis and Lafayette.
Yeah, you got Glenn Breaker's St. Francis Terriers right there, and then they're going to go into the Great West, and you always have a lot of traveling. But one of the things, if you're Jimmy Ingles right now, you want to just keep, hey, you got a lot of real good things for your team. You want to build off of the foundation that you set and really let it carry over because they've done a great job of their non-conference play.
You just saw there only 5 teams in the Great West Conference. As a coach, how do you plan for scheduling different from Villanova where you have more than 10 teams?
Well, one of the things you do is you can schedule a lot of Big East teams and get guaranteed money. And one of the things that most people don't know about, when you schedule up like this, a lot of times you get a guaranteed check that you apply to your program so that you can work on your recruiting, your office, your staff, et cetera, et cetera.
Shefu was failed there by Holiday. And he'll go to the free throw line as a result. NJIT will likely lose its 15th game against a Big East opponent, but like we've been hampering all season long, all game long, beg your pardon, that head coach Jim Engles has to like the effort from his crew tonight.
Well, you do. You're obviously disappointed. I don't care who you are and when you're in coaching. You're constantly thinking about how we're going to win games, and you've come up empty on the road, but there's still a lot of time in this thing.
2 points tonight for Shefu. 10 rebounds, though.
I say this, when I was at Fairfield as a head coach, we played George Washington. We were down 8 with 32 seconds to go, and somehow, miraculously, we ended up tying this thing and ended up winning it in overtime. And so you realize with a couple of missed free throws, some shots, crazy things happen in the last, especially in the last minute of a ball game.
Under 20 seconds left. Flores spots up a long three. And a foul here against Holiday. You have those fans screaming at the TV saying, why are you fouling when the game looks like out of hand? But as a coach, you know there's a reason for it.
I'll tell you what, it's amazing when you think about it, and there's so much pressure, but you never rest easy until you're in that locker room and this thing is officially over.
Remember, this was locked up at 54 apiece with 5 minutes and 38 seconds left, as you see McCarthy coming back into action. But just like that, Villanova started to trade buckets, and then the Wildcats came through and went smooth sailing.
Well, one of the things the Wildcats, again, you saw Pinkston on that little run where he scored. There was moments where, again, this thing kind of went in ebbs and flows, but when Villanova's defense was aggressive, hands were up and they were energetic and deflecting balls. They were a different team, and these are some of the things that Coach Wright will take forward as they get ready for their next contest.
Sheffield is the last 5 points for Villanova. Just 10 seconds left in regulation. Flores right to the rack. Too strong rebound to Oshefu. Traveling ball here with 5.4. We'll go back to NJIT. 29 free throw attempts for Villanova. They converted on 22 of them. Conversely, for NJIT, 6 of 14 from the line.
Well, you've got to be really thrilled if you're Jay Wright right there. If you go 22 for 29, pretty good night for you.
Flores can't convert there off of McCarthy. And just 2 ticks under 1 second left. Villanova, as a result of this win, will go up to 9-4 overall. NJIT will fall back to 500 at 6-6. Woods rebounded. That was deflected out again by Oshefu. And it's a momentum booster. Like you said, the barometer has been set to go into St. John's.
There's so many different ways to skin a cat and try to win a basketball game. And that's why I go back to Jay Wright. You did a lot of good things out here tonight. Focus on the good and then keep moving forward.
That will do it. Jay Wright's team comes up with a victory now on a 5-game winning streak. That 16-6 run was pivotal in the final 5 minutes plus.
It really was, and you got big plays. You got them from the young guys. You got them from some veterans. But really what you did at the end, too, is you defended, and that's what gave them the cushion. Final
score tonight, a good effort by NJIT, but they lose it by 10 to Villanova, 70-60. For Tim O'Toole and our entire ESPN3 crew, this is Dave Leno saying so long from Villanova. Join us tomorrow on ESPN3 as Duquesne faces Penn State at 4 p.m. Eastern. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.